Last episode, we started work on this Honda Ruckus. Now, it had not been started in over 6 years. It's unloved, it was dilapidated, and it was in need of a lot of attention. We swapped in a Works GY6 Honda Ruckus harness, and this bad boy fired into life for the very first time. Now, it wasn't without problems. We had a starter relay failure. We blew up the clutch. But if all goes well, this time, we will be riding it. As said, the bike hadn't started in over 6 years. It had been left in the rain, in the sun, over and over. And as a result, we have things like this. The clutch, the torque driver, the contra spring were in really bad shape, and as such, they didn't really stand a chance. Now I'm gonna go replace it with this stuff here. It is GY6 Racing Genuine Parts, so it must be good. We'll swap these guys in, and then we're going to move on to the starter relay.
For the new players out there, when I was researching options for the GY6 clutch, I came up with 5 or 6 different solutions. Now, shock horror, they're all the same except for the color. One other big difference, price. Depending which color it was, depending which supplier you got it from, the price was massively different. Do your research, they are all the same.
All right, moving on from the clutch and the variator, it's time to look at the starter relay or the solenoid. This is a solenoid relay that is supplied with a Works harness. Now, they are fine, they're very, very popular, and they're used on a wide variety of Chinese bikes. I don't like them. I've had them fail in the past, and I just had it fail on this bike here when we first put it in. So given my experience with these guys here, once bitten, twice shy, I am not confident with it, so it is not coming back onto this bike. I'm gonna replace it with this guy here. This is a more traditional type relay. It's rated to 100 amps, so I think it's more than capable of the task that we've got here, and I think it's gonna package a whole lot better under the battery box in this bike. So this is where the original one lives, and as you can see, it's kind of jammed in there. And I don't like that. I just don't like wires jammed together. I just think it's a recipe for disaster. So we'll take that out, and then we're going to put this guy here, probably there or there, which I think is a whole lot better packaged, and it's going to do the job a whole lot better. Plus, we're not going to jam wires in there. We're not squeezing the battery box shut. Solenoid to relay swap is now complete, and I think we can all agree it is a massive improvement. It is so much better packaged in there. You don't have wires squished up against frames and plates. There's no chance now of something rubbing through and causing a short and potentially a fire. Everything's well protected, but does it actually work? So ignition on, and we know the ignition on is because the dashboard lights up, which is new as well. But does it actually work? Absolute success. This is probably how this should be done, in my opinion, right from the get-go. Now that we've got the bike starting consistently, it's running well, it's time to double check all those electronics. So I've gone and added things like a headlight. We have indicators in the bar ends. We've got a dashboard. We've got a tail light, we've got indicators at the back, and we even have a brake light. So all this stuff is obviously needed to make sure it all works. So we're gonna go through it all now and just ensure we do have lights wherever we're meant to have it. Then maybe we'll take it for a ride. All right, let's put the key in the ignition. First thing that we're gonna see is the headlight comes on. We can toggle between high and low beam. Everything is working well there. We have indicators left and we have right. Now the other big thing is what I see in front of me on the dashboard. So what that looks like from behind is we currently have park lights. We pull this, we've got brake lights. We do this guy here, we have indicators left and right. So we're all set up electrically. Now I do have some more wiring to do. The harness could be neatened it up. It's kind of just plonked in there at the moment. It's a little bit longer in areas. So yeah, it's a little bit messy, but it's simply just there at the moment to ensure that everything works before I make it permanent. But what we do have is a starting and a running bike with everything working on it. Now remember, this bike has not rode in over 6 years. Let's break that curse. Let's take it for a ride. Here we are, we're riding it. Now it still has a bit of carb tuning to do, but the bike's working. Haven't set up the speedo yet. This is more of a shakedown run just to ensure nothing is binding, everything is working, the bike is rideable, and it's feeling pretty good. That main jet I think is way too big. Definitely not as nimble as the little two strokes. Yeah, it brakes up under throttle. But it does work. Running and it is working. Awesome. So I'm going to say that was a pretty successful ride. After all, we didn't break down, and that was the first ride on a public road for more than 6 years. So I've got a few more things to do. We've got to do some tuning on the carburetor. Main jet is way too big. We're at a 155. I believe it should be somewhere around a 130. I also have a little bit of cable management to do in and around the wiring harness, but the biggest question right now is, do we leave this little Honda Ruckus as it is right here, right now, white on black? It looks pretty awesome. Or should we do something nuts and strip it entirely back down and paint it some wicked color combination? Leave a comment down below. Let me know if this was yours. Would it be white or black, or would you go something nuts? See you next time on Scooter Bomb.